The honourable member for Hastings, Lennox and Addington.
For years, the Liberals have promised families they will lower the cost of groceries, telling Canadians that relief is coming soon. And for years, they have failed families. Their Prime Minister himself said he will be judged by the price of groceries. Mr. Speaker, the cost of everything, from beef to oranges, up to over 25% since the beginning of this year alone. With an additional $500 billion in spending, adding more fuel to the food and inflationary crisis, why can't this Prime Minister even table a budget?
Honourable Minister for Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, since 2015, child poverty is down by 38%. That's because of programs like the Canada Child Benefit. That's because of programs like the affordable childcare that is available all across this country. Mr. Speaker, we are working with families, we are working with youth and with children, and we'll continue to do that work together. We hope the opposition gets on board.
Member for Hastings, Lennox and Addington.
There's nothing to get on board with, Mr. Speaker. Unlike this government, Canadians actually have to budget their money in order to survive. They cannot tax and spend their way out of hunger. After their rent, mortgage and utilities, they are left with fewer dollars than ever to buy the food their families need. And those few dollars aren't going as far as they used to. Canadians are at their wits' end, and they expect and deserve a plan that delivers relief. Mr. Speaker, will this government exercise a modicum of competency and table a spring budget?
The Honourable Minister for Jobs and Families.
You know what, Mr. Speaker? Competency would be not voting against legislation, bills and programs that actually put food in the stomachs of kids, like the Canada School Nutrition Program that is feeding over 400,000 children this year in partnership with provinces and territories. Every time there is a measure that is put forward by this government to ensure that kids have food, that parents have childcare, that parents have the money they need to raise their kids, this opposition party has voted against it. Let's be honest, Mr. Speaker, they're not there for families.
Honourable member for Long Range Mountains.
Mr. Speaker, Bridges to Hope is a vital food bank in Newfoundland and Labrador that is being forced to double its size due to a 30% increase in demand. This surge reflects the harsh reality that more and more families cannot afford groceries. Beef up 34%, oranges 26%, coffee 9%. Canadians don't have any hope for relief without a clear fiscal plan. Will the Prime Minister finally table a budget that addresses the cost of living crisis and ensures Canadians can put food on their tables?
The Honourable Minister for Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, we've talked about the reduction in child poverty, but you know, for adults, Mr. Speaker, between 18 and 65, it's gone down by 26% since 2015, and that's in large part because of the programs that we've actually put in place to help families. You know, you want to talk about reducing costs of food, Mr. Speaker. The Canada School Food Program reduces costs of groceries on average by $800 a year for every family. So, Mr. Speaker, let's see if they can get on board with programs that really help families.
Honourable member for Long Range Mountains.
Mr. Speaker, Canadians will hold account by their experience at the grocery store. These are the words of the Prime Minister. Single mothers go to the grocery store, walk out with 2 bags of groceries, enough for 2 days. It costs them $100. Now the Liberals are bringing in $500 billion in new spending, increasing it by 8% when they promised to cap it at 2%. Once again, Mr. Speaker, will the Liberals table a spring budget that reduces inflation and cuts taxes so Canadians can afford to feed their families?
The Honourable Minister of Fisheries.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. And you know, it's very important in St. John's and Newfoundland and Labrador that we protect children. And the school food program was such an important initiative. And I found it so disappointing that the opposition voted against it. I hope that when there is an opportunity to vote to support this program that does put food in children's bellies, the opposition and the member across will vote to support food for children.
Honourable member for New-Tecumseh, Gwillimbury.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has admitted he doesn't do his own grocery shopping. He doesn't even know how much a family of four spends on groceries. So he either doesn't know or care that Canadian families are struggling to put food on the table because of this Liberal government's failure to tackle inflation. Under the Liberals, the most expensive vehicle now in Canada, Mr. Speaker, to operate is the shopping cart. Will the Liberals put forward a budget plan that will lower inflation so Canadians can feed their families?
Honourable Minister for Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, they either can't hear or it's a willful ignorance of their own past behaviour. What we see repeatedly is them, the Conservative Party, voting again and again and again against families, whether it's the Canada Child Benefit, whether it's the National School Food Program, whether it's dental care that is providing support to families all across this country and alleviating costs, improving health of Canadians. They vote against it. They're voting against families every single time.
Honourable Member for New-Tecumseh, Gwillimbury.
Mr. Speaker, it's the Prime Minister who said, quote, Canadians will hold them accountable based on their experience at the grocery store. Well, their experience is a nightmare, and Canadians are getting fat up. Under this Liberal government, food prices have skyrocketed. But instead of offering a real budget plan, the Liberals are plowing ahead with $500 billion in new spending. Hard-working Canadians are having to foot the bill for this government's runaway deficits every time they shop for groceries. How is this acceptable?
The Honourable Minister for Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, how is it acceptable when a government offers Canada Child Benefit that lifts over almost 500,000 children out of poverty, that the opposition votes against it, that they muse about cutting that program if they were ever to gain office? It's no wonder that Canadians chose us in the last election. They know who has their back. They know who's fighting for them. And these kinds of narratives don't match the reality they see from Conservatives.